China versus USA, who will win the war? According to American politicians, China is the main threat to America's national interests, possessing all the resources to challenge the supremacy in the world. International experts assess the possibility of a direct clash between the two great powers and came to unexpected conclusions. How real is the war between the US and China? Where will the main hostilities take place, and who is more likely to win the coming conflict? Fatal rivalry. American support for the Republic of Taiwan, US intervention in China's territorial dispute with Japan and Vietnam, the tense situation in the DPRK and the expansion of the Chinese presence in the world and in space. Every year the two countries have more and more conflicting topics. American political scientists predict that the war with the Chinese is just a matter of time. Chinese generals reciprocate them and are confident that the Republic of China is fully prepared for a possible conflict. To date, the United States has built a strong anti-Chinese coalition in Southeast Asia. The allies of the Americans are Japan, Australia, Cambodia, Myanmar, the Philippines, and Indonesia. The question of joining the Union of India is being resolved. However, according to experts, apart from Australia, none of the Asian countries is ready to take part in an armed conflict. I am not ready to support American ambitions and the European Union. France and Germany see China as an important trading partner, and if NATO maintains unity on Russian issues, then the United States will have to fight China alone. Russia is not ready to participate in a protracted world conflict either. Even the domestic authorities admit that the country's economy will collapse 3 days after disconnecting from all financial communications with the West. Under these conditions, one can only talk about a local war, using conventional weapons, in disputed areas, in Southeast Asia and the Pacific Ocean. The United States has allies in these regions, while China has no strategic interest in the American amphibious assault. It is also worth remembering that the United States and China are the two largest economies in the world, tied to trade with each other. Their turnover exceeds $500 billion a year, and the war for each side will be catastrophic. Prices for almost everything will instantly jump around the world. China and the United States, an analysis of the armies. The number of the Chinese army is more than 2 million people. According to official data, China is armed with 3,205 tanks, 2,250 rocket launchers, 1,200 fighters, 371 bombers, 902 helicopters, 2 aircraft carriers, 168 warships and 79 submarines. The United States has 1.3 million military personnel, 2,831 tanks, 1,385 rocket launchers, 1,956 fighters, 761 bomber planes, 5,436 helicopters, 10 aircraft carriers, 113 warships, and 68 submarines. Plus a few thousand more tanks and other equipment in reserve. The U.S. military budget is $740 billion. The military budget of the PRC is $178 billion. The U.S. military-industrial complex surpasses the Chinese in technology and production scale. However, the Celestial Empire is actively re-equipping the army. It buys weapons from Russia and other countries and then makes its own copies on their basis. The United States has superiority in air and space, as well as approximate parity with the PRC at sea and on land. However, China has more chances of winning. The fact is that in the coming conflict, the United States will fight on foreign territory and the war promises to be protracted. The Chinese society, raised in the spirit of love for the homeland, will endure all hardships. For China, it will be a war for its own freedom, independence and the future of its children. For the United States, this is a war for money and influence, in which the Americans, although they will lose their allies in Asia, will still survive as a state. So, you can give in to China. If the United States does not want to be defeated as in Vietnam, then they will have to negotiate with the Chinese, compete in the economic field, but in no case enter into direct conflict. America will not stand another landing in a foreign, distant country. What do you think? Who will win this hypothetical conflict? That's all. Share the video with your friends. Like and subscribe to the Mood Flow channel. See you soon.